Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting our brand new Beyblade series. So in case you don't know what Beyblades are, they were a craze that were around in the early 2000s. It came with its own anime, a lot like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was in effect some spinning tops that used to fight against each other. So this is one that I've made. Hopefully by the end of the series we'll have made something similar to this. At the very least, I'm going to talk you through how you're going to make your own attack ring, which is that bit there. Um, so, to start with, you're going to need a template. So, this is what the template looks like, and it is probably where are we going with this? Here we go. It is probably the most complicated bit making this, even though it looks quite straightforward. And I'm going to talk you through all the steps of how to get this. But this is where we're going to get to by the end of the next one or two videos. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make three circles on your top plane. So look at your top plane by pressing N, make a sketch on it. You're going to set the circle tool. I'm just going to draw out three circles to start with. I'm going to, the innermost one, the smaller one, I'm going to dimension at 21.5. The next one is going to be 29. And the outer one is going to be 35, I believe. Yes, 35. And now we're going to make some construction lines. So construction lines are things we use to make intersections. And what that means is we can cut away different parts of these circles and leave just the arcs that we want to remain active. So I'm going to get my line tool. I'm going to start off on the bottom portion of, so the bottom left quadrant on the middle circle. And I'm just going to draw that to the origin. And then I'm going to draw out from the origin down here. So you've made a little mountain, sort of an upside down V, a little peak there. And now I'm going to set some angular parameters. What that means is I'm going to make the angle between this diagonal line, this incline, and the vertical. I'm going to specify that angle. So jump into dimension mode for me. You're going to just click on the diagonal line, click on the vertical, and you should be able to set that to 45. And you're going to do exactly the same for the other line. Click on the vertical, click on the incline, 45. It's half of 90. And you can do that manually again on the other side. But what I'm going to do, because I'm lazy, is I'm just going to mirror it. So I'm going to click my mirror tool, click on horizontal. And once I've done that, it should go yellow. And I'm free to click on my diagonals. And because it is 45 degrees, the mirror should line it up so it goes all the way across nicely. Okay, we're going to get rid of most of this now, especially the inside bit. So grab your trim tool, and all you can do is click and drag with your trim tool, and you're going to just get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 of those innermost, that X in the middle. As you can see, this is what we talked about when we talked about intersections. You can see I've got these lines left, which is what I want, and all I'm going to do is trim this arc here, and this arc here. And then, because I want one solid closed shape, I want to get rid of the middle circle here and this arc of the middle circle here. And we're going to extrude that by 3 millimeters. So you're left with something like this. Now, hopefully, if we look at our template, especially at the bottom of it, you should be able to see where we're going with this. And we've only been going a few minutes. You should be able to see we've got this almost like a sweet wrapper like shape in the middle of our disc. That's exactly what we want. Okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to grab the fillet tool and you're going to make sure that fillet is set to 1 millimeter. And you're going to go around and all the vertical edges on the inside of your ring now we've made this weird shape, you're just going to go around and put a 1 millimeter fillet on the inside edges of all those vertical corners, those vertices. Oh, if you select a full face, like I just did, it's going to want to do the top and the bottom. You don't want to do that yet. You want to make sure you've just got the edges selected, and you can do it all in one go if you're careful. And once you've done, you click the tick. Okay. Right, so next step, we're going to be working on these pins that house the little chip that goes in the middle, so this section. Um, what you're going to want to do now, and this is quite important, you're going to make sure you're making a sketch on the top plane of what we've just made, not, oh, sorry, the top face of what we've just made, not the top plane, because we want to make sure that our sketch sits 3 mil proud, so that depth proud of the actual top plane itself. So I'm going to click sketch. I'm going to click on that surface, that top surface, and then I'm going to do three things. The first thing, I'm going to draw a center point rectangle. The way we get there is we go to our rectangle tool, click the drop down, and it's the second tool down. It's a center point rectangle. I'm just going to draw from the middle a rectangle which about goes there. I'm going to leave it up to you. All you need to make sure is like it doesn't snap to anything. So mine is currently snapped to this node here. You don't want that. You just want it freely moving so that you can dimension it. And you're going to put a dimension on the width of that rectangle to 12.8. Okay, you might get away with 13. You will find there are some very specific dimensions in this tutorial. It probably doesn't matter if we're talking about 2/10 of a mil, but I'm just going to keep it as that because I know it works. Okay, that's our first step. The second step is I'm going to draw a circle that lies between this line and this line, somewhere in this blue section. And the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my project tool to turn this circle into an active circle on my sketch. So what this does, what the project tool does, if I've got a line anywhere on my product or on my object, what it will do, it will align that sketch onto the plane. You'll see if I tap on this bottom line, you can see a very faint blue line appear above it on my active plane, and it will make that sketch active for me. So you'll see that line's gone thicker now, and I can manipulate it. And again, I'm going to trim away most of what I've just constructed here, just leaving the inside of this arc. Okay, so I'm going to get my trim tool and I'm going to go dub, 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 get rid of the top bit of my rectangle, the bottom bit of my rectangle, all this round here. And now, just making sure I've got rid of all the lines that I might be hidden, I'm just left with this active or a chevron, arc, whatever you want to call it. And the only thing I'm going to do now is put some fillets on this. So I need on my inside corners, that one and this one, it's going to be a 0.25 fillet. Now my outer corners, so this one and this one, it's going to be a 1 mil fillet. So I'm going to click my sketch fillet tool. I'm going to click on my inside corners to start with. It will default to 1 or 5, whatever you got it set to. You just need to double click on that dimension and put 0.25. And then you can do exactly the same to the outer two corners, but you're going to make sure that that radius is 1. So you've got something that looks like that. And then you're going to click extrude, and you're going to extrude it by 3.5. This is important that we did it on the top face and not the top plane, because if we'd have drawn that on the top plane, it would be sitting proud about, well, exactly 0.5 of a mil. If you have done that, don't worry, just make sure you extrude it 6.5 mil to make up for that 3 mil depth that you've not accounted for. So I'm going to click the tick now, and that is going to go there. Okay. I'm now going to use my offset tool. What I want is, and I'll show you on the template, I want to make it almost like a little burrow inside here, um, a hole that it doesn't quite go all the way through, because as you can see, we've still got that lip above. So we don't want to quite go all the way through, which means we've got to be really, really careful about where we position this. We're going to use something called an offset. So what I'm going to do, and this is where our um, project tool comes in again, I'm going to start another sketch on the top surface of that original 3 mil extrude, okay? Make sure I'm always drawing on the top. And now, if I click my offset, I start a sketch. If I click my offset tool, which is usually next to the scissors, and I click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've gone vertical to vertical. So it's vertical, the fillet, the arc, the fillet on the other side, and then the other vertical. I've got this arrow, which means I can pull the shape out or push it in as much as I want. And this will always be, I don't know if concentric's the right word, all the lines will stay the exact same proportional distance away from the original line we selected. And it will also project it onto the face we want. How good's that? Um, and what you want to do, you want to make sure that this line is inside. So it's actually smaller than the original. And you're going to set that to 1.5. Um, and then, or is it 1? You know what? I think it's 1. What you're going to do then is you're going to draw a circle from the center again, and this is going to be, oh, I'll just confirm that. Yeah, sorry, if you've already changed that, if you jump into the dimension mode and just double click on the 1.5, you can change the dimension there. What I'm going to do is draw another circle, and I'm not going to snap it, I'm just going to leave it there somewhere, and the distance between this arc and this circle is going to be 1.5. That's where the 1.5 came from. And you're just then going to extend this line down until it snaps and intersects with circle. Okay, and you guess what we're going to do now? We're going to trim away the excess of the circle. So you're left with something that looks like that. And what you're going to do now, you're going to extrude remove this shape. We're not going to put any fillets on it just yet. So you're going to extrude remove it, and you should see that that hole appears in the base, but we want it to come up as well. We want to hollow this section out. So what you need to do is add a second end position. So you're going to click this here, where it's a second end position, and that is going to, by default, extrude it not downwards, but upwards as well by a select amount. And if you remember, we extruded the whole thing by 3.5. We want to keep that 1 mil border, so we're going to change that 25 in the second end position to 2.5. And you'll see we keep that hat-like shape there. Okay, let's just compare. Let's just compare this to our template, which had some fillets on, and I can't actually remember how big those fillets were, so we're going to check. That looks pretty good to me. Um, these fillets, they were 0.25. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put fillets around the outside of this. What you're going to avoid is putting fillets around this bottom edge, okay? Because you want, we're going to add things to that later. So you don't want a fillet round this bottom edge, or at the same time around this bottom edge on the underside. So everything is going to be 0.25 fillet. You can watch through as we do it. Grab the fillet tool, 0.25. I want all my top face, so I can just click that and the fillets will appear. I want, oh, it's probably easiest to do it this way. I want inside on the edges. That looks good to me. Let's see if we missed anything. I probably want that inside edge. Yeah, that inside edge. This is just a case. I hate things like this. It's just a case of looking round and making sure you've not missed any edges off. And I don't think I have at the minute. That all looks good. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to call it. To me, that looks fine.